Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Institute Agama Islam Rawaupa today have a seminar on interdisciplinary studies. We are lucky this afternoon. We already have here Professor Dr. Peter John Wander from Tohoku University as the founding president of BOLT, Balsamo Outreach for Learning and Teaching. And then one of the typical of higher education in Japan is about interconnection between science, for example, social science and humaniora to STEM. And then this afternoon, as I mentioned before, we are lucky to have Professor Dr. Peter John Warner to understand uh, directly from him. And then he already served uh, years, more than decades, yeah, years to years, more than decades to serve higher education in Japan. And might be a bit little from him about the introduction and situation from his experience. Without further ado, I'd like to invite Professor Dr. Peter John Warner to uh, present our studium general or guest lecture today about the interdisciplinary. Thank you, Sensei. Time is yours.
Okay, if I get this. Can you see me? Okay. Can everybody hear me okay? I think you can. Yeah, right? Okay. Let me get see if I can get the slide up here. Hold on. Slideshow. Where's the slide attachment? Yeah, we'll just go without the slide attachment. I can't get it. Okay, video. Okay. Why is it not going? Slide attachment. Slide attachment. That. Like that there. Okay, I'll just go ahead. I'll go ahead and talk. I can't get the slide up here, so I'll work without the slide. Hold on a second. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Here we are. Here. Here sitting. Here. And here. Here. Okay. And here. Hold on a minute. Come up. Can everybody see that? Interdisciplinary research. Okay. Okay. First of all, I wanted to define interdisciplinary research for you today. Hold on. A little bit further. Hold on. Get a better about this. A little bit more. And very set. Okay. First of all, if we look at interdisciplinary research, I'm from Tohoku University, and I've been working in the area of interdisciplinary research with a lot of research studies in the Graduate School of International Cultural Studies. Down below here, you can see my email that you can contact me at balsamo.outreach.org@gmail.com. And if you contact me at this address, I can answer questions or give you more information about conferences that are coming up or student activities in which you can work to improve your skills in English and also study interdisciplinary research. So first thing I'd like to talk today is about the goal of what the definition of international research. It's the integration of methods, theories, and perspectives from multiple disciplines to address complex problems. So we try to combine many different theories and perspectives. We can actually try to solve a lot of the problems that we have in the world. The goal is to move beyond the limits of a single field in one area and try to create a holistic solution. For example, my bachelor's degree is from the University of Portland, and my major is interdisciplinary. That's what my major is called. But interdisciplinary is a combination of three specified areas that we want to learn, like three minors. So I took an equivalence to three minors in Japanese, political science, and business management, so I could study the areas of sustainability development in Japan, and also the relationship between business and political science in that area also. Now, why does interdisciplinary matter? Well, there are complex issues. We have climate change, sustainability, maintaining our current status, globalization, working with in a world together. These cannot be solved just with one discipline alone. And these encourage innovation and cross-cultural understanding, the understanding of our culture. Therefore, we need to build skills in critical thinking, adaptability, being adaptable, and collaboration. So I'm going to talk about these areas here. Yeah, let's see if we can take this over here. So first of all, let me talk about the different interdisciplinary degrees I mentioned here. These are the three areas that I worked on. Japanese, with Japanese, I could understand language and culture and society better. And I could also build my skills to learn other languages so I could communicate better with other people. Political science, I was able to understand governance and policy. How do we create understanding of other government policies regarding economics, regarding banking, regarding any issues that are involved with economic trade and international relations. Likewise, in business management, we need to have a very good understanding of economics to understand how our society works. If you are a politician, for example, and you don't have any understanding of economics at all, then when you try to interact and discuss issues with another government about economics, you will have problems. You will have problems. And this is what actually helps you to perform better when you go into meetings. For example, United States and Canada. United States and Canada, we have two people who meet and they need to talk about the economic issues. And if one person does not have much of an understanding of economics or business, they will be at a disadvantage when they try to talk with the other person. The person who has a very good understanding of business management and economics may be able to advance their system and do better. So we also need to talk about sustainability practices. How do we sustain energy and other areas in our country? So the ability to analyze sustainability challenges in Japan through cultural, political, and economic is very important. Research topics that we have in sustainability. So we can study about, for example, in Japan, Japanese corporate sustainable practices. How do the businesses integrate eco-friendly strategies? For example, if the business wants to project an image of eco-friendly strategies, they might put green plants on the wall of their building and try to have more CO2 in the air to create a more friendly environment. Other case studies are done with Toyota, Sony, or smaller firms, which are actually trying to pursue cars that are more efficient and do not have a problem with CO2, the green energy. Also, political policies on green energy, such as Japan's government initiatives. How do they want to get renewable energy, or what, comparing that with other nations? Each nation has different types of green energy that are more productive or useful for their nation. For example, if your location has very strong winds, then the use of windmills for energy would probably be a very good option. If you have earthquakes many times, those areas have geothermal energy is very strong. If you can access geothermal energy in areas where the energy underneath the earth from the heat is so strong, you can produce energy with that, and it does not cause problems for CO2. Japan put a lot of energy into geothermal energy after the disaster with the nuclear plants, when they had to shut down all the nuclear plants and they could not sustain them. So many people did studies or research on what effect the introduction of geothermal plants was, and how much it cost to implement these, and what mechanisms do you need to try to encourage people to move forward with these plans so that they can be effective. Cultural perspectives on sustainability would be such as traditional Japanese values. We need to not waste things. We need to not waste things. Other interdisciplinary research areas, such as cross-cultural business ethics, how Japanese cultural values shape our corporate responsibility, policy and trade, the impact of international trade agreements on Japan's sustainable industries, and also language and diplomacy. What is the role of language proficiency in negotiating global sustainability partnerships? What is the role of language in traveling? What is the role of English? And will the role of English become less or stronger? Community development. How can we link our traditions of our area, with modern sustainability, urban planning? For example, there are many local traditions that we could try to implement to make people more aware of tsunamis. We can try to implement stories to teach children that they must go up to the highest point when they hear or see the ocean being dragged out and going to be coming in, then they should go out to the other area. So what are the benefits of interdisciplinary approach? And these are the type of studies we're doing at Balsamo Outreach for Learning and Teaching. They make us understand the cultural, the political, and the economic perspectives better. They bridge the theory of what the whole world operation or application is, and they prepare U.S. graduates for international careers in your area in sustainability, diplomacy, or corporate leadership if you are going to go through that area. So these are areas of what interdisciplinary research covers and what we can do in interdisciplinary research. And with the introduction of that, I'm going to talk about how can you be more involved and improve your English skills by working in these areas, because all of your areas of research that everybody who is here today, can be applied to interdisciplinary research. So you have no reason for not being able to try to present or work with summer school programs abroad, or international seminars abroad. You can do that if you really want, and you can use that to help you move forward when you get your bachelor's degree, your master's degree, or your doctorate degree. So therefore, we are having some interdisciplinary seminars, which are incorporated also inside some summer programs also. Let me discuss what a couple of those are. In August, we're going to be having a student summer program, and some students will come to Tohoku, and they will present on different areas of interdisciplinary, such as what I just talked about. Likewise, we will have some presentations at the Akita University, which is close by, and then the students and teachers will travel and actually see the sustainability projects in Japan as part of their experience while they're in Japan. The other areas that you can see sustainability projects, we have another seminar experience. We have 2 seminars and language teaching education conference in Dalat and Ho Chi Minh. So if you have a chance to go to one of these 2, then you can go and present and also see the different projects that they have in effect in Vietnam. So that'll be December 17th to 23rd of 2026 will be our conference in Vietnam. When is the deadline for trying to get your presentation topics organized? You should try for July 1st. If you want to know how to develop a topic, or you can write to me by the address that I listed for Balsamo Outreach for Learning and Teaching, and I will be more than happy to help you move forward in trying to develop a topic of interdisciplinary research that interests you so that you can actually be involved with our organization. And also you can develop into a more international and more fluent English speaker. Okay, thank you very much.
I'd like to thanks to Peter John Warner for the introduction, how the interdisciplinary approach came from a perspective of higher education in Japan. Would you like Sensei to highlight this topic about how Japanese higher education or how Japanese education system work with interdisciplinary approach?
Okay, at Tohoku University, we have various departments that work with that you could be called interdisciplinary. We have 14 departments, and each of those departments, we have students working on research. They are actually doing research reviews and creating projects or areas that they wish to pursue. The area that I work in is the Department of the Graduate School of International Cultural Studies. And in this area, we try to incorporate culture and economics, or culture and banking, culture and different areas, sort of similar to the way that you try to incorporate the culture of each of these areas in Indonesia. So there is some banks in Indonesia that might incorporate the culture better than other banks. If you're looking at food, you have halal food, and you have the other food, which is usually eaten by people, which is not halal. So we've had some people have done investigations of halal food in countries such as Japan. And actually, we have on our homepage, if you go to the homepage, you can see a outline of the places that you can eat and have halal food, and also the locations where you can pray and do different cultural things that are tied to your culture within Japan itself. The other thing that we are looking at is the environment. Environment is another area that we strongly emphasize on at Tohoku University. we're trying to create a greener environment, increase the CO2, and reduce the carbons in the air. Therefore, our engineering department is constantly working on types of machines that will have better efficiency. Likewise, increasing the output for electricity so that we use less gas or less oil. There is a push or desire to have almost all electric cars in Japan and get rid of the gas and oil-driven cars by 2035. I don't know if that will happen, but it is a very strong push. We have some. How do they push for this? Well, we have some buses that are electric. Some large buses that carry 60 people inside. They are getting more efficient buses that can run on electricity and move around just as well as the buses that are operating on gasoline and diesel. Furthermore, the electric cars are being bought by more people in Japan. We can see this also in America. America had to push for the Tesla car, which was actually, Tesla has grown a lot and has shown a lot of development to, so it can have very good speed and very efficient, while being very good for the environment. Even though it costs more money, many people were investing in the cars because the government helps to create the sustainability of them by giving incentives to the people, such as maybe tax rebates or helping pay for the car in some way. So we also have the other areas of sustainability would be looking at the radiation levels in various areas in Japan that might have been affected since the Fukushima accident. So we've at Tohoku University, we've had people going into that area and checking the levels of the rice and the other food around, making sure that the levels of that food is not dangerous for consuming. So likewise, underneath the Fukushima power plant, we had the water flow. There was a leak into the water for the radiation. So there's a constant check on the water, so making sure that the water radiation level is not too high also. But Sendai is very safe right now with very low radiation levels for water or other areas, similar to the same radiation you would probably get from microwave oven or traveling on an airplane a lot, which I do. I probably get a lot more radiation from the many times I travel on an airplane. So those are types of things that we're pursuing at Tohoku University, as well as recycling can be seen everywhere. Picking up boxes and books, separation of articles, all the implementation of all of these type of things is very effective. People who study at Tohoku University take these ideas and implement them in their country. For example, one grad student went to China and she implemented a lot of the policies that were being done in Japan and worked with the government to try and create a better environment for China. So these are ways that we are working together to try and make the world better.
Thank you, Sensei. So I got one idea. It's about the making a world better or making the planet is still good. We have around 3 to 4 minutes. Maybe Sensei, you could explore the possibilities topic that we can work together as collaborative research in the near future. between Bolt and then our partners in Asia and in Southeast Asia, like in Dalat, in Ho Chi Minh, for the near December this year.
Okay, well, the best way to do collaboration or meet people is to come to the seminars that we have. If you come and meet other teachers, they are more willing to actually work with you in areas. For example, I had one Indonesian student come to Japan, and they wanted to work on halal food. And the implementation of halal food. So they when they want to compare it and see what it was like in Indonesia and Japan. And so I went and gave them the information about Japan. They talked about halal food in Indonesia. And then I also helped give them some information of other people in other countries where they might be able to get more information about halal food implementation there. In this way, the collaboration is built. If you write to somebody at a university, like you just write to me by internet, and I don't know you, and I haven't met you, it is harder to get the collaborative effort because the person you're talking to has to take time out of their work schedule and their life to actually work in the areas with you. And but if you have some type of a personal connection that you get through different organizations such as like Balsamo Outreach for Learning and Teaching, then you can actually work with those people and do collaborative research with them. So I encourage you to go out, even if you can't go abroad to Japan, then go to the Balsamo Outreach for Learning and Teaching seminars that we have here in Indonesia. We have many of them, and they are listed on the website for Balsamo Outreach for Learning and Teaching. And likewise, Dr. Weke is working with many other organizations doing much research in the area of interdisciplinary studies.
Thank you, Kente. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the end of our Studium General or guest lecture Institut Agama Islam Rawaopa Konawe Selatan with Sensei Professor Dr. Peter John Wane, founding president of BOLT and a lecturer of Tohoku University. We have 1 minute more, Sensei. Would you like to have a closing statement, please?
Okay. Final statement that I would like to state is, for me, as a youth, I did not do a lot of work collaboratively until after 24 years old. And from 24 years old, when I started to travel, then I started to see the importance of the communication and working with other people and understanding their cultures. So if you can be involved in any cultural events that help you work more with international events in your country or outside of your country, I encourage you to please go to them. Please reach out, open your mind, and become more worldly. Become more worldly and a part of the global society. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you Sensei, thank you to everyone. Terima kasih Bapak Ibu sekalian yang telah bergabung dalam rangka mewujudkan ya studium general ataupun kuliah tamu kita pada kesempatan sore hari ini bersama dengan Institut Agama Islam Rawaopa Konawe Selatan dalam kaitan bagaimana memahami interdisciplinary atau memahami interdisipliner sehingga kemudian kita memiliki peluang untuk kemudian melaksanakan sebuah kegiatan-kegiatan kolaboratif ataupun kemudian penelitian-penelitian kolaboratif. Satu hal, I took a note from Sensei that it is harder to make a contact if we didn't know each other before. So somehow it is better to see face to face for the first time, and then we can follow up after. We can follow up after the meeting. Thank you, terima kasih Bapak Ibu sekalian, dan kami undang untuk menutup acara kita pada sore hari ini dengan bacaan hamdalah. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Thank you Sensei, thank you everyone. Mohon maaf atas segala kekurangan. Billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.